Good morning, Chodesh Tov. Welcome to Kilat Shari Torah's daily review of Maimonides' 613 mitzvahs, the Sefer HaMitzvot for Tuesday, February 1st, which is also the first day of Rosh Chodesh, Adar Rishon. We are a good bit of the way into Maimonides' list of negative. Sorry, this is not Maimonides' list. This is actually from Sefer Mitzvot HaKotzer, which is a listing of the mitzvahs that we can do, we can observe in times of exile outside the land of Israel when the temple is not standing. So we did go through a list of some 60 positive commandments, and now we're just about number 60 in the negative commandments, of which we have in our list here 200. So we're making our way through. Number 59, these next three apply to Kohanim exclusively. A Kohen is forbidden to marry a harlot. Next one, a Kohen is forbidden to marry a halala, a woman who is the product of a forbidden marriage between a Kohen and someone that Kohen is forbidden to marry. And a Kohen is not allowed to marry a gerusha, a divorced woman. Another rule, another halacha, number 62, that applies to Kohanim exclusively is that they are not allowed to become tamei mace. They're not allowed to acquire tumas mace, the impurity of handling or being in close proximity to a not living body, other than for the close relatives that are described in the Torah. So for the 7 closest relatives, siblings, parents, spouse, and so on. A mitzvah that applies to all of us. We're forbidden to tear out our hair in the sign of mourning for the dead. We are supposed to mourn, we are supposed to grieve, but excessive signs of mourning, such as these, particularly those that were the habit or the practice of heathen nations, we are to avoid. Here are a string of mitzvahs that will apply to all of us and are very familiar because they all come under the umbrella of kashrus. We are forbidden to eat any unclean animal, any animal which doesn't have, of course, the familiar signs of chewing its cud and having split hooves. So you're familiar with the prohibition of eating pork. Also, let's see, camels, elephants, horses, any other animal that does not have both signs, both it chews its cud and it has split hooves. Eating any unclean fish. Many of the fish are in fact permissible to eat. They have fins and scales, but there are a few. Let's see. Sturgeon, I believe, is one of them. And there's one or two others which I haven't even seen around, so I forget which one they are. Another prohibition is eating an unclean bird. So animals that tear their prey, generally speaking, are forbidden to us. So usually with animals that are kosher, we have a Masorah, we have a chain of tradition that's passed along to us by our forebears. So we know which animals are which are kosher and which are not. So interesting when Europeans landed on these shores some hundreds of years ago and they encountered animals that were unknown in Europe. For example, the turkey. A turkey is an indigenous North American bird. So there was a great exchange of correspondence back and forth across the ocean to determine if in fact we were allowed to eat turkey. Most hold that yes. So if you're enjoying your turkey, you're on solid ground. And a very few of the sages of Europe decided that it did not sound to them like a kosher animal. So as a result, the descendants of some of those great scholars to this day refrain from eating turkey. They wouldn't say that we're sinners for doing that, but there are opinions and there are opinions. Okay, we'll leave it off here. There are a number of more items, mitzvahs to cover, prohibitions to deal with kashrus. So please join us again tomorrow, Chodesh Tov. Remember that today, it being Rosh Chodesh, the first day of Rosh Chodesh, we are adding Hallel with a bracha, the shortened form of Hallel, into our Shacharis prayers, our morning prayers. We are davening Musaf for Rosh Chodesh, and there is Barchi Nafshi, the extra psalm recited in honor of the day after the psalm of the day. Have a wonderful day, good Chodesh, happy and healthy, good things for the whole Jewish people.